Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? The energies have been phenomenal. There's a lot to take in. It's a lot of activations, a lot of upgrades, it's a lot of self care, grounding, hydrating, meditation, and tests. We're all being tested. Some of us are in the final stages of those tests. Some of us are really just figuring things out. You're really just at a place where you're starting to wake up to what's truly happening within your own body, within your energy body, within the body of our planet. And it's taken on a whole new context for you, right? And so you're excited and you're looking for souls to collab with, right? And your big bright light makes you a huge target. And this is not going to be a warm and fuzzy message. I 100% tell you that I have worked very, very hard to be in a more neutral place about this. But this is something that I have lived with, dealt with, um, been uh, assaulted, and had to fight back from. And it's come to a fever pitch, right? I'm making this video not about me. I've handled my issues and I've handled them well. I've handled them with integrity. I'm making this video for all those who are not wising up and really being victimized by the false light prophets of the spiritual community. You know who you are. You're all a bunch of fucking parasites. You have no abilities at all. Anything that you deliver is negative energy because you have nothing but negative energy and false light. And those that are truly on the path, once the love bombing stops and you get a little deeper, a little bit beneath the surface, your true energy is felt. Can't hide it. Darkness is dark. It's heavy. It's dense. It's dramatic. It's full of low vibrational things that the true beings on a soul evolution path that is doing their soul work and their shadow work do not participate in. And so they're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel that. We're going to talk today about some real world things that you need to wake the fuck up about because you are being targeted and you have no idea. And you think everything's all love and light. And it's not yet all love and light. We are getting to that space, but it is not for this dimension. That's another misconception. The dimension that those beings will reside in, will have to live again in, is not for you. If you're watching me, if you're doing any of the things that I advise for you to do because I've done them, because I've seen them done, because I understand the process, it's not for you. If you're scared to actually tackle your shadow work and you love being a victim and you love the energy that all the ones that are actually doing their shadow work and clearing their distortions and clearing their energy field gives you, I'm talking to you. You're a false light prophet. You are literally a vampire of the energy that these other light beings are providing in good faith. You are malevolent. You have hidden behind the guise of being a Reiki master, a spiritual ascension guide, an Akashic records reader, a YouTuber, an influencer, a tarot card reader. It runs the gamut. Psychotherapists, social workers, dentists, medical doctors, nurses, construction workers, shamans, you name it. The honest truth is, which was extremely hard for me to come to terms with, but it has been proven time and time again. It is a very small percentage of people on this planet right now that are benevolent with a soul of the light in alignment to source creator and working for the greater good of humanity. I wish it was more. I wish it was different, but I can't wish this away. You see, because the more souls we cross over, the more souls we release that have been trapped by darkness, we're taking their food source away. So I raise my hand and I tell you that I have made it a little dicier for us out there, because the food source and the energy sources that they have been tapping into traditionally have been removed, cleaned up, released, and healed. They don't have them anymore. They are searching for any energy source they can find. And that's us. Our big bright lights are like bug zappers. We attract them. They come in from all directions, all hours of the day. They come in super excited. Oh, you're lovely. I love your energy. Let's work together. Oh, yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. I am here to tell you, I learned the hard way. I learned firsthand what these beings do. And it's not just one group. Okay? It's pervasive. It's a virus. And it has traveled very far and very wide. False light is untrue or misleading portrayal of a being, one that deceives rather than illuminates. And the reason the energy appears as an angel of light or as an angelic being or so loving and warm and fuzzy feeling on the outside is because they are using incantations to cloak their energy with benevolent energies. They're literally calling in a cloak over them to hide their dark energy. A lot of times they're calling in cloaks of angels and archangels so that you are none the wiser. I will tell you, there are some tried and true things that work every single time. And it is the number one reason why these motherfuckers love to throw shade at me, because I don't give a shit. I am completely transparent. I am going to give you the play-by-play. When you first go into your awakening, I was there. I was so excited to finally have some answers to what had never made sense to me in my entire freaking life. Okay, starting with being raised Catholic. Sorry, if you're Catholic, it's just based on lies. And why would you eat the body of Christ and drink the blood? Hello, wake the fuck up. Not about that today. Coming out of that and having a true clear channel and able to access information that was given to me. Now, I'm not going in search of it because I didn't have any experience with that. I was receiving the messages and I was taught, thank you, Poseidon. I was taught a very clear way to go about entering into my clear channel full of safety and precautions to receive messages. And I then teach that to other people because it works. And when they get in their ego or they get complacent or they think they know better or they think that they're untouchable, that's when shit goes off the rails. So this is your PSA. It's time to wake up. Understand that when you clear your energy and you become a brighter, clearer source of light from source creator, you are a huge target. And not everybody in your vortex is meant to be there. And not everybody in your vortex is there for benevolent reasons. Some of them have been there for a long time, siphoning off your energy. And it is time for you then to wake up to who and what you're dealing with. You consented to it because they fooled you in one way or the other. But now you're clear and now you know, because you've tapped into some other clear people that can go, yep, they have a soul, they have a soul, they don't have a soul, blah, 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 blah. I don't have a dog in the fight, with the exception of I truly want humanity to elevate and ascend out of this dimension. You transcend your dimensions by your frequency. If you are lying to yourself about the people in your life who have been sucking the energy from you, you are not ready to go into a dimension where everyone is full of bright lights and big frequencies and big energies, because you don't know how to handle that. It's time to get real. Not everything is love and light. Not everyone ascends. It's not for everyone to ascend. Does that sound harsh? I guess, if you want to look at it that way. When beings come into this dimension with a soul, they have a soul contract. Not all of them soul contract to ascend. Some of them are not ready. Some of them soul contract negative polarity lives. Some of them don't have a soul. Some of the beings you walk around with, you have had sex with, you have had children with, you have taken classes from, you have confided in, or don't have a soul. Maybe they used to, they don't now. Maybe they never did. Maybe they're organic portals. Maybe they're NPCs. These things are real. Okay. There is nothing about me that gets real excited unless it is actual. If you've known me for 5 minutes or 5 years, you know that about me. That's one characteristic that only became stronger as I cleared up my life. The more people get manipulated, lied to, and abused, of course, I don't like that, because it reminds me all too much of the life that I have come through to be here in this now moment. And I, for one, am not willing to backslide to save someone else's feelings. If this is triggering you, you have work to do, and it is possible to clear things up. Move the ego out of the way. Move aside that you really love some people that you've found out don't have a soul, because that's just emotions. Deal with it. Put that shit in check. We're talking about your soul here. Okay. We're not talking about losing a best friend, not having somebody to go have coffee with, or a yoga partner. It's much bigger than that. It is much, much bigger than that. Okay. I was targeted as a new source of energy, and this began years ago. And I was none the wiser. Like I didn't know what I didn't know. As I was cleared and then started to be mentored to do things in a very safe and orderly way, I started to put into practice things that Mother Sophia said, this has to be done. This has to be the first thing you do before you engage with anyone. Because like many of you, I wanted to save everybody. I wanted to save everyone. But then the other side of me said, but I don't want to pick up things I'm not supposed to pick up. Like I knew everything had been cleared from me. I didn't want to go and pick up a bunch of negative entities and implants and curses, hexes, and spells, because I had just cleared myself of all that. Mother Sophia had just cleared me of all that. So I wanted to maintain what I had, but I wanted to be a help. I wanted to be a service to those beings that also needed help. And I truly feel that way to this day. However, I have learned there is a whole host of beings that circumvent and weave their way through and around the spiritual scene for all the wrong reasons. Just like any other parasite, they go where the food is. They go where their energy is. They go where they're not seen as a predator or a parasite, when in fact, that's what they are. Now, every walk of life, I have encountered many. It doesn't matter. Those things don't matter in the sense of soul stealing. See, that's the nature of the business. The more souls they can steal, the more they can get rewarded for the low vibrational things that matter to them. And what are those things? It's the same playbook that they've been using for thousands of years on this duality planet: power, prestige, and profit. It all comes back to the ego. The one thing that every single person that targeted me has in common is they are all in their ego. They have never taken shadow work seriously. They love playing the victim and projecting their pain onto you. And many of you went seeking true spiritual guidance and have now been sucked into this vortex of victimhood and projection and shame and blame and guilt. And why you think you're not going anywhere? Why do you think not a whole lot has changed for the positive in your life? Because you are manifesting exactly what you're putting your energy into, and it is all low vibrational. That's what you want. Good job. You've done a great job of doing that. You've created more shit for yourself. Yeah, you did that. When you have beings like myself who speak the truth no matter what, because I'm asked to do that by Source Creator, deliver truth. Go to my YouTube channel and look at the description of my channel. It has never been changed. It has always been constantly in search of truth, biblical, scientific, energy, cosmic, galactic truth. When the truth comes into my being, I know it. I'm clairsentient too. I get the goosebumps. I get the goose flesh. I also take it a step further, and I have other beings that don't have any idea about the download I just got confirm the information. And then I get someone else to confirm the information. And then I go back to the source of the information and I dig a little deeper. So when people say, well, how do you know this stuff? Well, because I'm living it. I'm authentic. I'm in my integrity. I always have been. And even when I realized that these beings were taking advantage of me and manipulating me, I gave them a chance to save themselves. And they chose not to. Many times they chose to double down on the attacks and come at me with an entire coven that spread the entire breadth of the planet in multiple dimensions. And you know what? You know who my team is? Source, Mother Sophia, who really doesn't like it whenever we get fucked with. Archangel Metatron is my grandfather. Saint Germain is my other grandfather. White Buffalo Calf Woman is my grandmother. Green Tara, Kuan Yin, Maggie, Yeshua, Hathor. Archangel Raphael is my uncle. He's with me right now. Always is. Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael. You know, he's the one I least depend on because I do a lot of stuff without that energy, but he's always there too. Because we cross souls over. We release trapped souls. And he is the gatekeeper. We're gatekeepers, but his legion of angels escort these beings through the gate to be healed. And it brings me back to that point I made earlier. We as a ground crew, as a soul family, my family, Father Yogananda, see the picture behind me? My father, soul father. Our family for hundreds of millions of years, as long as our souls have been created, incarnated, and moving along in lives, have been responsible for assisting souls as they transition into bodies and out of bodies. And many times, because those beings get trapped and their energies being siphoned off of and used for darkness, we've had to rescue them. It's nothing new for us. But the result now, because of the end of the 26,000 year cycle and the planet has ascended and we are ascending and it is beautiful. I'm not taking any of that away. We have taken a lot of their power source because they can't create their own power. They are void of that ability. Their handlers and their high level negative beings that control them give them power, power that they've stolen, power that they really don't have access to, but they siphon it to them. They give it to them and they fool you with incantations and spells and hexes and all these different things so that they keep you coming back for more. You're going to sign up for more classes and more sessions and more upgrades. And well, this is just because you have so much work that needs to be done. And what are they doing actually? They are sending you more negative energy, negative entities, and negative implants to keep you distorted, to keep you messed up. And it's all cloaked. And if you don't know the right words to use, you will never find it. And they will never tell you about it because it keeps you revolving through their business, profiting off your pain that you came to them to clear, and they have only added to. I know it's completely fucked up. I didn't create this situation. I just found myself in it. And whenever I found myself in it, I endeavored to understand it in a way that allowed me to be more neutral. And it's very hard. Today, a soul family member woke up very excited about a session that she was going to have with a being that doesn't have a soul. And my recommendation to you is when you have become clear, whether it's through immense hard work or you've got a QET session and now you're getting control of your clear abilities, use your gifts, use your abilities to do better. You can access truth. You can access a being's soul status. It is not assault. Okay. Those that never want to be found out love to project how intrusive it is to ask about a being's soul status. And it is not. They just don't want you to know about them. I protect myself because before I open a link, before I open an app, before I receive an email from anyone and read it, I question source creator. Does this being have a soul? Are they of the light? Are they in alignment to source? The first question is the most important. Is this being in possession of a soul? If the answer is no, I end it right there. I never see the link. I never watch the video. I never read the email. I never engage. It's not for me. I have been strongly guided by Mother Sophia to always say no to that. In fact, some where she knows my thoughts, I'm really feeling very empathetic to, and I'm in the process of considering how I can help them. And she comes in very strongly. No, you will not, Andalucia. This is not for you. Disconnect. And I do. I have the free will choice to take that information in and make my decisions. Do I always listen to Mother Sophia? 100% of the time. That's because my ego died. I killed that bitch. She led me astray for 48 years. I know now. My guides have been trying to steer me onto this path for a very, very long time, but my brain would not let me listen, would not let me listen, would not let me hear the message that could save me some turmoil, some pain. It was my own fault. I entered into willingly and by consent with beings that were going to harm me. Some of it was soul contracted. I was supposed to be there, and some of it was not. I was being fooled. I wasn't listening to my body cues. I wasn't listening to my guides. So now, 2.5 years later, I'm going to try to impart to you a little bit of wisdom, take it or leave it. I would not be in front of this camera telling you this if it wasn't very important, very timely. And my mission is to assist people in finding their sovereignty, taking their power back, and developing their own clair so that they can ascend. Okay? I teach independence. I teach sovereignty. I teach people how to maintain a clear energy body. goes against all of that stuff that they teach, because they don't want you to know how to clear things. They don't want you to know how to detect things because they're full of it. So when you start down this path, you're finally taking that first big step and you're super excited and all the things, you're going to get love bombed. They're going to suck you in with all this emotion and warmy, yummy feeling of can't believe I found you, and like all these things, right? And your light's so beautiful and I can just feel your energy everywhere and blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to quickly start to hook you. They're going to quickly give you distortions, which causes distortions between your higher self and your lower self, so that your truth center is not connecting to your mind, to your heart. You're going to be disconnected from that almost immediately, because I don't want you to clue in via your higher self going, some things here are not as they seem. And that's the thing about your guidance too. You have free will choice. Free will choice is always honored. You're not going to see Archangel Metatron jump in front of you and go, don't do this. This isn't good for you. Because you have free will choice. You're going to hear a very soft, take a pause, evaluate this. Does this really feel like it's the right thing for you? Like a very neutral statement message will come in from your higher self, from your guardian angel, from your team. Do you recognize it? Do you honor it? Do you ignore it? Do you discount it? What do you do? That's your free will choice. Okay. Do they let bad things happen? Well, if you soul contracted it, it was going to happen no matter what. And your reaction to actions is what they're really interested in. See, snake oil salesmen can come along all the time. It's what you do about that. Do you give them the time? Do you give them the energy? Do you give them the energy exchange or not? Up to you. So we learn firsthand how it feels to be duped. We learn firsthand how it feels to be manipulated. We learn firsthand how it feels to be used and betrayed. Nobody likes that. I would think genuine, authentic, souled beings really don't like that. But they can't wait to send you more. They want to pull you in. They want you to be pathetic and needy and emotional and all of these lower vibrational things that just deliver so much energy to them. And you are in chaos, and they love it that way. They absolutely love it that way. A lot of times there is intrinsic spell casting with music that gets played, or tapping of nails, or certain things that they say all the time. There is intrinsic spell casting. And don't be all woo-wooed about it, because newsflash, the Bible is also spell casted. Lots of things that the church tells you to memorize and say over and over again is negative spell casting. So what can you do about it? You want to listen to your intuition. Your body's going to be giving you clues. My body was giving me clues I didn't really recognize at the time, because I didn't know what I didn't know. But as soon as I got to that level of awakening, my guides were hot and heavy to clue me in. And then it was up to me to follow that clue and discern what to do about it. Discernment. Do you use discernment? When I began this journey, discernment was just a word. I didn't really know what it meant. I didn't know how to use it. It wasn't a skill that I had developed. It was new to me. My discernment now is razor sharp and unapologetic. Okay. To this date, to this particular moment, December 7th, 1:42 p.m. Eastern, my discernment, when it says no, and I honor that, has been 100% accurate. Am I perfect? Hell no. Newsflash, none of us are. But my discernment has a really good track record. Now that I am clear, and now that I really do see beings as their energy first. I don't care what's in their suitcase. I don't care what's on the shelf. I don't care what kind of promises that they're making. First thing I'm checking is their energy, because I can. And I know it's important. And I don't want to make a mistake that I had made in the past of making a decision based on something other than their energy, because that's how you get in trouble. That's how you get manipulated. That's how you get used. That's how you get betrayed. And again, I'm not talking about just losing a friend. I'm talking about losing your soul. Real talk. Your sovereignty and your abilities are yours. When people come to me to get a QET session, quantum energy transformation, I can simply deliver energy that is very powerful, that clears all the negative entities, all the negative implants are removed, and the area is healed. All the curses, hexes, and spells are gone. All the hooks and daggers and spear tips and old world magic and new world magic, all of it is gone. You're clear, possibly for the first time in this incarnation, maybe in the first time in several incarnations, because this stuff tends to follow you along ancestrally as well. I'm sorry, my nose is running. So when that gets dug into and felt, there's a lot of people that have said to me, I have this anxiousness now, and it feels really weird. It's called energy. Your energy has been capped and siphoned off of you, and you haven't had it. You've been giving it away. You've been giving your power away to all these people and all these things. But now it's within you, and you're clear, and it's flowing, and it feels great. But the fairies will say this is an anxiety attack, or it's nervousness, or I'm not sure what to do about this. It's then that is your wake up call that you have to realize how to handle your energy, because there's a lot of it, and it's going to continue to rise because we are ascending. As long as you stay clear, you ascend. You transcend the lower dimension to the higher dimension. So you got to get a handle on it. You have to develop practices that keep your energy clear, keep you in balance, because balance is the key. And you then can navigate the journey using a balanced, clear energy field to determine and discern where you should take your energy and exchange your energy. If you're not doing any of that, please stop. Please stop what it is that you are doing. And please check in. Are you actually making decisions based on your highest and best good or not? Is it just a whim? You're just going with your feelings? Because I'm here to tell you, feelings are very volatile and not reliable at all. I have loved dearly some beings in my life that have not had a soul and have not been good for me, and I did not want to say goodbye to them, but I needed to. You don't go with your feelings unless you really just love to be a ping pong ball. So when you're clear and you understand what being clear means, then you have to take it upon yourself to maintain that clear energy. I'm not going to babysit your energy forever. That's not for me to do. I don't want to be responsible for everyone else's energy. I want to show you how you can be responsible for your energy and take your power back and zoom into the next dimension, free and clear. And if that makes me a bad person, then you have shadow work to do. So this allows you to then tap into the wisdom of your higher self, which is the collective wisdom of all your incarnations. You receive clear guidance and messages from your team. You confirm with other beings, because if this is about money or your marriage or your children or something that you're really invested in, you don't have the ability to be neutral, period. End of discussion. So you want to give someone else who doesn't have an invested interest in the answer the opportunity to confirm this for you one way or the other. But then you have free will choice. Every bit of information given to you, you are then presented with a free will choice. Am I going to choose service to self and say, Who gives a shit about what these people are doing? I like how they make me feel. Or you're going to do service to others, greater good of humanity, and do what is maybe not feeling good, but highest and best good for your soul. And that is the quandary, isn't it? Because doing what needs to be done doesn't always feel good in the beginning, but the rewards and the payoff are huge. When we act in our own best interest and we are our own best friend and we give ourselves grace, love, healing, and compassion, we are rewarded by the divine. The divine does not want us raked over the coals and pulled from pillar to post and manipulated and betrayed and hurt and shamed and blamed and guilt ridden. That is not what they want for your life. But you have to wake up in your life and stop doing the things that invite people in to guilt, shame, blame, and manipulate you. You have to take responsibility for all of this because things don't just happen to you. Most of it is your soul contract playing out for you, and you are none the wiser. It is a huge waste of time and energy to go through recognizing all this, clearing your energy, being taught how to do it, just to throw caution to the wind and go with the feelings of how you feel about this next latest person that is love bombing you because they want your energy. And whenever your shadow work journey requires you to take inventory of all beings in your vortex, and you realize that some of the people in your life that you have labels on that you really, 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 really love are soulless and not in your highest and best good, then what do? Well, do you love yourself? And I mean the true essence of you. Do you love the true essence of you and all that you volunteered to come down here for and all of your mission that you want to do for the greater good of humanity more than how you might make this person feel when you break up or when you block them or when you say that I've outgrown this relationship and I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore? Yeah. It's called being an adult. And it's called being responsible spiritually. That is a rare term. And it's an even rarer find to have someone with spiritual accountability and responsibility. There's been times where I really didn't want to do what I knew I needed to do, but I did it anyway. It was hard. It was a gut punch. It did not feel good. But the love that I received from the Ascended Masters and Source and Mother Sophia, because I did not give in to the duality making me feel a certain way, but I tuned into the energy and said, I got to make a change. This is not my highest and best good. And did so with clear intent. Love, forgiveness, and gratitude to all parties involved, moving through it with a healed wound. That's how you take your power back. That's how you stop playing the victim and you now navigate your life with purpose and intent. So when you are with someone and they are really still in their ego, they can't imagine facing the pain of their past because that's called shadow work. And they just love to be in the pain that they constantly relive because they love to be the victim. You have to decide for you, does that really work for you? How does that make you feel? Do you feel completely drained after any energy engagement with these beings? You should, because they're stealing all your energy from you and you're giving them consent to do it. So whenever you realize what you're dealing with now, right? And you understand these beings also had the same choices you did. They had the choices to get clear. They had the choices to take inventory of their vortex. They had the choices to do shadow work. They had the choices to heal. They have the choices to let go of things that no longer serve them, but instead they want to sit and spin on it. because it's bringing them more souls to take advantage of, and more power, and more money, and all the things that they just can't get enough of. Well, they also have zero faith, because if they had true faith, they would have faith in themselves and the divine to heal. And the life that you have once you're healed and clear and ascending cannot compare to things. That's why every true spiritual evolutionary being, the more that they evolve, the more of a minimalist they become, because the things have less and less value. Less and less value. The value that they put on life in general doesn't have a dollar sign attached to it. It is priceless. It's priceless. My clear energy is priceless. My soul essence is priceless. You can't buy it. You don't have enough money. Do you honestly feel that way about yourself? I know my worth. It is not equated in the number of views I get on a YouTube video or shares or any of that stuff. My value within the realms of the divine is priceless. And I know that. And that is what keeps me motivated. That is what keeps me going. And that is why they and I work together to help you. But you got to help yourself. First thing you have to do is take inventory of everything that you're dealing with. Who do you text? The app that you open, the video that you watch, the podcast that you listen to, the social worker you talk to, the counselor, the psychotherapist, the yoga instructor, every single being that has access to your energy. What are you dealing with? Who are you giving it away to? What are they giving you that you have no freaking clue about? Because they're cloaking it and you don't know how to find it. Your gut and your body will tell you. Some point in time, they're not going to be up on their game. They're going to let their cloak get a little diminished, and you're going to get a sense of who they truly are. It might be a snide comment. It might be something else that they throw a dagger at you and they forget to cloak it, and you go, well, that kind of hurt. You have to be very, very, very cautious. But when you see it, recognize it. Pull back. Cut cords, maybe just for a moment so you can get a breathing room. And then ask the tough questions. Do they have a soul? Are they of the light? Are they in alignment to source? Because I can tell you, there's so many really, really big YouTube influencers in the spiritual community that have all lost their soul. Some of them started out good, and now they're not. They have no soul. What happened? Well, they're in their ego. They didn't do shadow work. Any number of things. I can tell you firsthand, when I encounter and engage with galactic beings or ascendant masters that I hadn't engaged with before, archangels that I haven't engaged with before, emissaries from other planets, they go through a security check unlike anything else. And that security check has been built over time because of things that I have experienced. And to this very minute, I get told all the time, no one ever does this. No one ever does this. We communicate with beings on your planet that have millions of followers, and they don't do this. And my answer to them is, well, they should. If you don't take it seriously, then you're asking for it. I'm making this video, so if you have never heard the truth before, you're hearing it now. And it's up to you what you do with it. There are beings that seek us out by way of Mother Sophia because she's my gatekeeper. No one connects with me without her approval. And no one connects with me that hasn't been security screened in a 100% infallible way. So when they connect with us, it is by purpose and it is with permission. And many times they are looking for a clear, integral channel because theirs has become compromised. And they too have a mission to help humanity, but they're running out of assistance. Think about that. This is a duality planet. If you're not actively seeking unity, you are at risk, period. I know that this has been heavy and it has been a lot, and you may have to watch this 2 or 3 times. I invite you to do so until it is clear. Leave comments. I will respond to everything that I see. There is huge shadow banning on my channel, so I may not even see it. That happens. But understand this, the playbook, the dark playbook has not changed for thousands of years. It is the same. What has changed is how we interact with that. We have taken the position of power. We have taken our power back, and I'm not giving it up anytime soon, nor is anyone in my soul family. We understand what we have done. We understand all of our battles that we have warred against the darkness and won. And they are just itching to take their territory back. I don't see it as territory. They do. This dimension is full of duality, and it will remain until the lower dimensions implode, because that's what they do. Higher dimensions, new earth, when you transcend to that, you transcend into a unity consciousness state. There is no room for duality. If you're still struggling with them versus you, and light versus dark, and good versus bad, and NPCs and OPs, and you can't wrap your mind around that, please get serious and do the work. Please. For the greater good of humanity and for yourself, be serious and do the work. They exploit weakness. They exploit doubts. They exploit egos. They exploit those that are resistant to change and that have fear. And our society loves for us to stay in a fear state. They love it whenever you are a victim and they want to exploit that victimhood. They're very selfish. They teach you to be very selfish. This is a good point to make here too. I don't advise selfishness as much as I advise self-love, self-compassion, and self-healing. We are to do that for ourselves so that we can then turn around and do it for others. If we have never healed ourselves, we don't really truly have it to give others. They offer trade, power, prestige, profits for all the light that you can give them. And that's what they want. So follow your gut, ask your higher self, use discernment. If you don't know what discernment is, do some research. It's just like a bully on the playground, right? If you've ever been bullied, bullies stop when you fight back, when you take your power back. It's time for you to take your power back. You want to ascend? You truly are clear intended. You want to do good for the greater world of humanity. You want to be on the positive side, the light side. You have work to do. We all have had work to do to get here. It is not easy. It is absolutely worth it. And they are coming after you for your light. And not every being that you encounter is for the greater good, no matter what they say. Discern their energy, and that's how you know what to do. If you are interested in becoming clear, get your QET session, please stop by violetlotusenergy.com. It is actually very inexpensive whenever you look at all the things that people pay out for prescriptions and surgeries and therapy and body sculpting and invest in yourself. Invest in your energy. You're an energy body. You need energy to be clear and healed. And then take your power back and see all the energy vampires in your vortex flip out, because you are no longer the patsy they thought you were.